Hey everyone! So here's a wild question for you. What if I told you that this tiny white bulb sitting in your kitchen right now could literally transform your health in ways that might surprise even your doctor? I'm talking about garlic, and trust me, after diving deep into the research for this video, I'm honestly shocked at what scientists have discovered. Let's start with what's happening inside your body the second you bite into that garlic clove. Now, here's where it gets fascinating. When you crush or chew garlic, you're actually triggering a chemical reaction that creates allicin. This compound doesn't even exist in whole garlic. It's only formed when an enzyme called allicin meets a compound called allicin, and boom, you've got nature's pharmacy activating right in your mouth. Within about 10 to 15 minutes, allicin starts racing through your bloodstream, and this is where the magic begins. Your blood vessels start to relax and dilate. I'm not just throwing around feel-good claims here. A 2016 meta-analysis published in the Journal of Nutrition analyzed data from over 500 participants and found that garlic supplementation reduced systolic blood pressure by an average of 8.4 mm mercury and diastolic by 7.3 mm mercury. To put that in perspective, that's comparable to what you'd see from some blood pressure medications. But here's what really blew my mind. Garlic doesn't just work on your cardiovascular system. Those sulfur compounds are simultaneously heading to your liver, where they're inhibiting cholesterol synthesis. A comprehensive review in the Journal of Nutritional Biochemistry showed that regular garlic consumption can reduce total cholesterol by up to 17 mg/dL on average. Now let's talk timing, because this is where most people get it wrong. If you want maximum absorption and effectiveness, you want to consume garlic on an empty stomach, ideally 30 minutes before your first meal of the day. Here's why. Stomach acid doesn't destroy allicin, but food can interfere with its absorption. However, and this is crucial, if you have any history of stomach sensitivity, gastritis, or ulcers, you absolutely want to take garlic with food. The compounds that make garlic so powerful can also irritate an already sensitive stomach lining. As for evening consumption, I generally avoid it for two reasons. First, garlic can be stimulating for some people, potentially affecting sleep quality. Second, let's be honest about the social implications. Garlic breath is real, and it peaks about 1 to 3 hours after consumption. The research shows some pretty clear winners. When it comes to who benefits most from regular garlic consumption, if you're dealing with high blood pressure, elevated cholesterol, or you're at risk for cardiovascular disease, garlic could be a game changer for you. The Framingham Heart Study data suggests that people who consume garlic regularly have significantly lower rates of heart disease. Garlic is also incredible for immune support. A randomized controlled trial published in Clinical Nutrition followed 146 participants for 12 weeks during cold season. The group taking garlic had 63% fewer colds, and when they did get sick, their symptoms lasted 70% shorter than the placebo group. But here's who needs to be careful. If you're taking blood thinners like warfarin or aspirin regularly, garlic can amplify their effects because it has natural anticoagulant properties. Always consult your healthcare provider first. The same goes if you're scheduled for surgery. You'll want to stop garlic supplementation at least 2 weeks beforehand. People with bleeding disorders should also exercise caution. And if you have severe acid, reflux, or active stomach ulcers, raw garlic might exacerbate your symptoms. Let's walk through what happens when you commit to eating garlic regularly, because the timeline is actually pretty fascinating. During your first week, you're primarily going to notice digestive changes. Garlic acts as a prebiotic, feeding the beneficial bacteria in your gut. Some people experience improved digestion, while others might have some initial stomach sensitivity as their system adjusts. Your blood pressure might start to stabilize slightly, though dramatic changes usually take longer. By the end of month 1, this is where things get really interesting. Your immune system undergoes significant enhancement. Research from UCLA showed that after 30 days of garlic supplementation, participants had increased natural killer cell activity. These are the cells that hunt down and destroy virus-infected cells and cancer cells. You're also likely to notice that your cholesterol profile is improving. If you've had it tested, the 3 to 6 month mark is where garlic really shows its long-term power. Studies indicate that arterial stiffness begins to improve. Inflammatory markers like C-reactive protein decrease, and some research even suggests improvements in cognitive function. There's emerging evidence that garlic's antioxidant properties might help preserve telomere length, which is basically a marker of cellular aging. What makes garlic so uniquely powerful compared to other foods? It all comes down to those sulfur compounds. When allicin breaks down, it creates over 100 different sulfur-containing compounds, each with their own biological activities. Diallyl disulfide, for instance, has been shown in multiple studies to have anti-cancer properties. A population study from China involving over 1,600 participants found that people consuming raw garlic at least twice a week had a 44% lower risk of developing lung cancer, even among smokers. Another compound, S-allylcysteine, crosses the blood-brain barrier and may provide neuroprotective effects. This is why researchers are increasingly interested in garlic's potential role in preventing neurodegenerative diseases. All right, so how do you actually incorporate this into your daily routine without overwhelming your taste buds or your social life? My personal favorite method is what I call the honey garlic morning shot. Take 1 clove of fresh garlic, mince it finely, mix it with a teaspoon of raw honey and chase it with warm water. The honey helps mask the intensity while providing additional antimicrobial benefits. Let this mixture sit for about 10 minutes before consuming to allow allicin formation to peak. If you're not ready for raw garlic, roasting is a gentler option. When you roast whole garlic bulbs at 400 degrees Fahrenheit for about 35 to 40 minutes, you reduce the allicin content, but preserve many other beneficial compounds while making it much more digestible and sweet. For cooking, here's a pro tip. After chopping or crushing your garlic, let it sit for 10 to 15 minutes before adding heat. This maximizes allicin formation before the cooking process begins to break it down. Garlic-infused olive oil is another fantastic option. Gently warm olive oil with sliced garlic for about 10 minutes on low heat, then strain. You get the benefits of both the garlic compounds and the healthy fats from olive oil. The research on garlic just keeps getting more impressive. A 2020 systematic review in the Cochrane database found that garlic supplementation reduced the incidence of the common cold by up to 70%. But perhaps even more exciting is the emerging research on garlic and metabolic health. A recent study published in the Journal of Nutritional Science found that aged garlic extract improved insulin sensitivity and reduced inflammatory markers in people with metabolic syndrome. Another fascinating study showed that garlic consumption might help regulate blood sugar levels by improving insulin secretion. The anti-cancer research is particularly compelling. A large-scale study from the Iowa Women's Health Study, which followed over 40,000 women for several years, found that women who consumed the most garlic had a 50% lower risk of developing colon cancer compared to those who ate the least. So what's the optimal amount? Most studies showing significant health benefits use doses equivalent to about 2 to 4 grams of fresh garlic daily, which is roughly 1 to 2 medium cloves. More isn't necessarily better. Consuming excessive amounts can lead to heartburn, nausea, and in rare cases, even changes in blood clotting. If you're new to regular garlic consumption, start with half a clove daily and gradually increase to assess your tolerance. Remember, consistency matters more than quantity when it comes to reaping garlic's health benefits. The fascinating thing about garlic is that it represents this perfect intersection of traditional wisdom and modern science. For thousands of years, cultures around the world have recognized garlic as medicine, and now we're finally understanding the biochemical mechanisms behind these ancient insights. Whether you're looking to support your cardiovascular health, boost your immune system, or just add some serious flavor to your meals, garlic deserves a place in your daily routine. Just remember, like any powerful natural compound, respect it, start slowly, and listen to your body. What's your experience with garlic been? Have you noticed any health changes when you've included it regularly in your diet? Drop a comment below and let me know. If this video opened your eyes to garlic's potential like it did for me, hit that subscribe button for more evidence-based health content. Until next time, stay healthy!